everyone who supported Drake, in reality, this seemed more like a personal vendetta because he was unhappy with how he was treated in the biggest rap battle of all time. Can she beat them? Is that possible?
She can. She drops 2 or 3 more albums, then she can catch the Beatles. I think Taylor Swift still has a good 15, 20 years where people are interested in her music.
These artists who we believe in, they play around too much, man. Where's the real stuff that like will show the talent? You know what I mean?
It's that thin line between quantity and quality when it comes to music. I think this is a reflection of the people who did it right. He dropped when Taylor Swift dropped. Everybody knows you gotta dump Taylor Swift. You know how many albums were pushed back?
At this point, I trust Nas when he's like, bro, I want to put out a new project. I feel like he's going to put his best foot forward. And it further proves how, when you have something to say, I think the artistry in a true artist never goes away.
What's up, guys? This is QD, Quincy from Ratings Game Music, and I got my boy Uche. And this is the very first episode of With That Being Said. On this show, we're going to cover a couple topics, a couple big news stories that's been happening in music, give our little opinion here and there, and just really keep you informed with what's going on. So what's up, Uche? How you doing, man?
Brother, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. Hey, listen, we meet again. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, we're some familiar faces for some people watching, but this is a new vibe, new creation. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Same people, just not as ill-advised as before, but still ill-advised, though. We're still going to get some ill-advised. So we're going to cover some topics such as highest album sales of the week, Drake's defamation lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar getting dismissed. We got to talk about that. And then we got to talk about Taylor Swift. I might call her Queen Taylor at this point with all the records that she broke. But let's start. You know what? Let's start off with your boy Drizzy Drake Rogers, your boy Heartbreak Drake, Champagne Poppy, whatever you want to call them. Let's start off with that. By now, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they indulged in a beef that was last year at this point, and Not Like Us dropped. And there was some damaging things, I would say. Some will say even defamation, type stuff being said on Not Like Us, which prompted Drake to, I don't want to say because of Not Like Us, he did the lawsuit, but it's a big reason why he did a lawsuit against UMG and I believe streaming services, right? Was it Spotify? Yeah, all of the streaming services. So recently, his lawsuit was, dismissed. So just what's your general thoughts about his lawsuit getting dismissed? Like how does it affect your view of Drake?
Well, I'll be quick, man. Look, Drake did bad. He deserves to give everybody an apology. And what I mean by that is everyone who supported Drake, who said that this was for the artist, this was him standing up for the artist, I felt like that was the wrong framing from day one. In reality, this seemed more like a personal vendetta against a company who he's in business with because he was unhappy with how he was treated in the biggest rap battle of all time. Right. So we can stop the nonsense. Drake lost in the battle. I don't think that's a surprise, but it was a surprise to a lot of people that he sued UMG over Not Like Us, claiming that there were bots and claiming that, a whole bunch of stuff happened. All in all, though, I think I guess the fans have been trying to put this whole battle behind us because I'll speak for myself. I've been trying to put it behind me. This seems to me like a good event within that closure. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the closure that a lot of people need to get to the end because I don't know where Drake goes from here, man. I was once of the mindset that Drake should go away. We know he wasn't going to go away. I said, man, I think Iceman is going to do it, man. I think Iceman is going to be that album. And now he keeps taking L's. I don't know where he goes from here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Does he ignore the ruling? Does he address it? How does he take on this event? Q, come on, help me out here.
Can music fix it? That's the question. Can music be the remedy that fixes this whole situation? Because I believe it's a mess. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Listen,
For sure.
I'm not pro anybody in the battle. I actually enjoy both artists, which is very possible to do. You can enjoy both artists. But, you know, can music fix this situation? Because what the judge said was that, you know, it was dismissed because it was almost as if it was ridiculous that it was even filed. That was kind of the feeling that I got from the statement that the judge made. So at this point, you know, that's always going to be on his resume that he dropped his lawsuit. Not maybe, like I said, not maybe because of Not Like Us, but Not Like Us helped, you know, spur the lawsuit. But if he drops good music, if Iceman is a very good album, if he got bangers, that's all we're going to care about, right? Like he can recover from that, right? Like just make good music. We all move on.
With all that being said, I think you're dead wrong on that. Listen, I rock with Drake. I don't like that narrative anymore, man. Like, you know, I agree that in general, music solves everything. Good music solves everything. But I fear that Drake has gone too far. I fear that this lawsuit has caused irreparable damage to his reputation, his legacy. And I feel like fans are no longer able to push past these types of things. I mean, I just saw, you and I saw, we posted something as a brand, RGM, where Benny the Butcher said something recently and he was like, yo, hip hop is being ran by the Twitter nerds, right? And the reason I think he was frustrated is because street dudes once were able to rely on this facade of pushing street codes and street narratives within hip hop specifically. But I think that facade is gone, man. Like Drake, I don't think good music's gonna solve this. He gonna need an act of God, bro. Like we gonna need something else. He gonna need something else, man. I don't know.
Man. Well, hey, you know,
am I off?
But the one thing that saves him, he is one of the greatest artists, not even just hip hop artists of all time.
Facts.
That saves him.
Facts.
So, like, you know, if anybody else would probably be dead in the water, but it's Drake. So, with that being said, it remains to be seen where it goes from here.
Agreed. Let's move to the next topic, man.
Yes,
I like how you segue. With that being said, I also said it earlier. I pump fake though, but this is the real segue. Let's talk about the top 5 hip hop selling albums of the week. And by the week, I mean October 11th. So at number 5, we got Drake with his album Take Care, which came out ages ago. At this point, it sold 20K units. We got Doja Cat with a relatively recent album called V. I believe that's how you pronounce it. She sold 20K as well. Number 3, we got NBA YoungBoy. His Make America Slime Again project sold 20K. Damn, what's up with all these people on 20K? By the way, we got another one.
That's a good ass title, by the way.
Young Thug, SCUTI. That also sold 20K. So we really got a tie at second place between 4 albums. And we got number 1, Am I the Drama, Cardi B, which sold 64K first. I shouldn't even say first week unit. Who knows what week we're on, but that was what they did last week. Q, are you surprised by this list? Should any of these albums not be here? Are you listening to any of these?
Surprised? That's an understatement. Take Care? Take Care? Like, what? At this point, who hasn't heard Take Care? Who doesn't have multiple versions of Take Care on their computer or on their CD? Right? Take Care came out, 2011? I mean, why? So I think it is Drake's best album. It's not my favorite. If you're reading this, it's too late. That's my favorite Drake album. But Take Care is clearly his best album. And I think when it's all said and done, maybe people just, you know, when they feel a certain type of way about Drake, they just turn on Take Care to remind them of how good and dominant he was at one point. He still is dominant, but like in Take Care, that was another level Drake was on. So that's interesting. Doja Cat's album sales, it doesn't usually start that well, you know, but her longevity continues and continues. And so, you know, I can see this album doing much, much better down the line. Make America Slime Again, YoungBoy, NBA YoungBoy, Shot Caller. Is it Shot Caller or Shot Calling? Shot Caller or whatever.
Shot Call In. Shot Call In.
Shot Calling. is
going up.
It's going up
right now.
I love the love that he's getting on these tours, man. Like these shows that he's doing. I love the love he's getting it from celebrities. He's getting it from fans. I love the love that he's getting.
Too.
So, I'm not surprised that that's number 3 either. Young Thug, SCUTI. Is that how you say it? SCUTI.
SCUTI.
That this is the one that I just don't love being on the list because I just don't feel like I don't really gain anything from it. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit of a disappointing number that he started out with, 20K. I think at this point still a little disappointing, but he's kept it relevant. So he's been going on interviews and doing all this stuff. He's remained relevant, so that's good. And then Am I the Drama? Cardi B, purest hip hop album of the year in my opinion. It's just good music. I love that it's dominating. But all the other albums that were on the list prior, like Some Sexy Songs for You and all that stuff, it got wiped off the list. We got a whole new list from just 3 weeks ago.
I hear you. And look, I don't know what you mean by purest hip hop album. I'm not even going to debate you on that. You said that about Cardi B's album, but it's cool. No big deal. I want to say this about SCUTI, man. He got killed for that album. Granted, the album cover was odd. He still hasn't explained why he's in whiteface.
He's the only white man on the list.
We don't, we don't understand. I still don't understand what that was about, but that album has gotten better to me. I gotta say, it's gotten better over time. I'm not surprised to hear people are still listening to that and it hasn't dropped out of the top 5. Like, it's not a bad album. You got songs like Sad Spider, Blaming Jesus. Of course, the couple songs that he has with Mariah the Scientist. I even like the joint with Travis Scott. Bro, the way Young Thug was going off on that beat got to be one of the craziest flows that I've heard this year on a rap song. Like, it's a crazy rap performance, being honest with you. But
you might just be you have to remind the folks that you are a huge Young Thug fan. So this might be a little biased. The take might be a little biased. It's not a bad.
Not necessarily. Go.
Album.
Listen. I said it's gotten better. That's literally all I said. I never said his album should win a Grammy. I never said nothing other than that. And by the way, thank you for telling the people my biases. I think you should also do the same with your Drake bias. Just saying. Hence why we got a lot of Drake topics on this. The next topic is about Drake too, right? Just want to point that out there. Just want to throw it out there.
Next topic. Travis Scott and Drake's Sicko Mode earns a massive 16 times platinum certification. That's tied with Drake's God's Plan, which also has 16 times platinum certification. Is Sicko Mode the greatest hip hop song ever? Like, or can we at least put it in the category as one of the greatest hip hop songs ever? I mean, look, everybody wants to bring up the old school stuff like Juicy and It Was a Good Day. But, at a certain point, we got to update this list when it comes to greatest hip hop songs ever. Okay, if you don't want to say ever, what about for this century? Is that the greatest hip hop song this century or this decade? Easier.
My brother, you've asked me 10 questions. Before. 10 questions. Which one would you want me to answer? How about this?
Okay.
How about this?
Go ahead.
I'm not prepared to say it is the greatest hip hop song of all time. I'm not doing all of that because I just don't believe that per se. But out of the last 15 years, it's one of the most impactful. I mean, and it's not just about the numbers. To me, Sicko Mode is a huge record. Like, huge record, right? So many, you got Drake's performance, they were doing the back and forth rapping before it got played out. Like, remember before, like, when people would have like 2 songs within one, Drake does it literally now on every song, it's played out now. You know what I mean? But like that was at a time where it was still kind of novel in a way. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I really love what they both did on the song.
Look, they tried to redo it with Meltdown, and Meltdown was fun. Meltdown from Utopia, it was fun. But I think it's confirmed that this is their better collaboration. I mean, who was better on that song, Drake or Travis Scott? Who do you think was better on that song?
Of course, Drake. Drake, 100%.
Travis Scott was pretty good,
Mostly
though.
because of the quotables and that's why I said the whole crept down the block. That was a big thing, like around the time. That was a big because remember they all lived in Calabasas and Kanye was like, "Dog, why you antagonizing me? We neighbors," and it was a big thing. But whatever, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Shoot.
The
Well,
greatest rap,
congratulations to them.
look, greatest rap song in the world. I'm not going that far, but a really, really dope record, nonetheless. Really dope song.
16 times platinum certification. That's a big deal. 16 times platinum.
No,
Wow.
it really is. Anyway,
Next topic.
with that being said, man, let's move on, man. Let's speed this up a bit. Taylor Swift, she extended her Billboard 200 record with 87 weeks at #1. Sheesh. Some notable names that she joins. I think, by the way, before I read these names, I think it's safe to say Taylor Swift is a living legend, and people probably need to put even more respect on her name, but I digress. At #5 on this list, in terms of streaks at #1, we got Michael Jackson with 51 weeks at #1. At #4, we got Garth Brooks at 51 weeks. Look at that. #3, we got Elvis Presley at 67 weeks at #1, right? In comes Taylor Swift at #2 with 87 weeks at #1. But of course, none higher, none better in terms of Billboard numbers than the Beatles, who continue to be at #1 with 132 weeks at #1. Like, can she beat them? Is that possible?
She can.
Okay.
I mean, people forget how young Taylor Swift is. I mean,
That's true.
Taylor Swift, she's still in her 30s, granted, late 30s. This album's going to be at #1 for a couple weeks. So let's say right now she's 87. Let's say 100. Let's say 100, right? It's 13 more weeks. She drops 2 or 3 more albums, then she can catch the Beatles. I mean, I think Taylor Swift still has a good 15, 20 years where people are interested in her music, and then she can drop some stuff. It's always interesting when I see the Beatles on these lists. It's like, damn, were they this dominant? Like, remember the days, people would be like, yo, man, Michael Jordan was good, but Wilt Chamberlain was the best basketball player ever.
Yeah.
Like, were the Beatles this dominant? Like, how? What
clearly.
did the Beatles do? They weren't even American.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? So, like, for them to dominate pretty much the world. Wow, I always see this list and it's surprising. Garth Brooks too, that's surprising on the list. But I mean,
as I'm reading the list, I'm trying to think who were some other women who could have possibly been on this list. I don't know, like Mariah Carey had a dope run at one point. Beyonce, I feel like, in terms of Billboard numbers, was up there, in their heyday.
Whitney Houston, Adele.
Yeah,
but, the thing that, and I don't want to look. I don't want to downplay anybody, right? I don't want to do that because these are amazing accomplishments. But when you think of people like Drake and you think about Taylor Swift, I believe has 16 albums. They said has reached the charts essentially, and Drake has a bunch of albums that he's released. When you look at a person like Michael Jackson, who's had a couple, Adele, who's had 3, even to a lesser extent, Kendrick Lamar. If Kendrick Lamar decided to empty the clip and drop as many albums as these other artists, he might be on this list, So I think it's that thin line between quantity and quality when it comes to music. And I think this is a reflection of the people who did it right. Right amount of albums dropped. Right amount of quality that needed to be on those albums.
It's a perfect storm, man. I think when you talk about doing it right, I think it's a perfect storm, man. It's a combination of the music has to be of a certain quality, the fan base has to be of a certain quality, the media adoration, like the way people cover them and love them has to be of a certain, like we're talking about everything coming together at the same time. I feel like Taylor Swift has it. And of course, she helps herself out because people are even more interested in her because of the whole NFL thing in America. Not that she needed Travis Kelce to get on this list, but I'm saying a lot of these things just help. It just adds to the perfect storm.
It just added
you know
her
what I mean?
popularity.
Yeah.
For sure. With that being said, it's obvious she's one of the greatest artists of all time, can end up as the greatest artist of all time. She has some time. She's still in her 30s. I mean, well, I don't know, Elvis died early, but a lot of these legends dropped albums into their 40s.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
We'll see. Pay attention. She might get to number one. Next topic is Bryson Tiller, our guy. Solace and the Vices sold 15K first week. He dropped when Taylor Swift dropped. Everybody knows you got to duck Taylor Swift. You know how many albums were pushed back once they said, oh, Taylor dropped it? Oh, damn, I got to push that thing back. You know what I mean? It debuted at number 45 on the Billboard charts. Yeah, for perspective, because, perspective is important here.
Okay.
Trap Soul, really the breakout album for Bryson Tiller, had 22K in its first week.
Absolutely.
Bryson Tiller, the self-titled Bryson Tiller, had 39K in the first week. Anniversary had 57K in the first week. And his highest first week sales was from True to Self, which was 107K, which is massive, obviously. What do you think went wrong? Because I do think these numbers are not great. What went wrong?
A couple things. I don't know if Bryson is an album artist at this stage in his career. I say that because I've seen him do tons of collaborations with Chris Brown. You got the Jeremiahs. He's on a lot of singles, right? He's a really dope feature. Like when people get Bryson Tiller as a feature, it's usually a very, very good song. Now, I think the question, again, is he an album artist? I'm leaning towards no at this point. That's number one. Number two, people aren't listening to albums like that anymore. But that's not an excuse, because clearly there's artists who are getting that love and attention when they do drop albums, right? So I think something's not really connecting with Bryson in particular, right? But I think at the end of the day, I don't know, man. Maybe Bryson is just at the point in his career where he's on his passion wave. Like, is he really worried about making music that the fans care the most from him? You know what I mean? Like, I've watched interviews from him, and he's talked about, man, he's at the point in his career where he's just making music for himself. And I love that, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, artists, I do think once they gotten past the money, the fame, the Billboard numbers, the this, the that, once they've smashed their 100th Instagram model, I'm sure they get to a point where they're like, you know what? Let me get back to being happy. What did I do to get into this? And it just feels like Bryson's at that point, man. I was at a Chris Brown concert. I saw Bryson Tiller perform. He opened up for Chris Brown. I was like, man, like, Bryson got hits, dog. Like, he got hits galore, and everybody in that stadium was going crazy. So I don't think this is a matter of, does Bryson still make great music? Because he does. If you listen to the new album, bro, he still got it. If anything, the music sounds great. He dropped an album in 2024. I think it was self-titled. That was amazing as well. So this is not a question about, does Bryson make great music? Because he does, in my opinion. I just feel like the market isn't showing that they care about this type of music from Bryson throughout a whole album. That's just my take, man. What do you think?
You know what? I think you're spot on with the take. But you know another thing, Bryson, and this is just some advice.
Oh, boy.
I'm Quincy from RGN.
Oh, boy.
I have probably rated 100,000 songs and albums combined, right? Brother, you gotta get the artwork right. Like, Bryson Tiller's last couple of artwork has been awful. Awful. This one, where he's like, I can't tell, like, if he's trying to look swagged out or depressed. Awful. Remember the one where he was like a computer? Like, he looked like he was in some type of Mega Man outfit.
I got you.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, Bryson Tiller is doing his thing. He's having fun. I think we just need to stop the comparisons of Bryson Tiller to these other artists like Drake and stuff, because that's what I did. When Bryson Tiller was in his peak, I was like, this is the next Drake.
Well, but he was in that bag, though. No, it was deserved.
He
though.
was. And
it was deserved.
He'll even tell you himself he was in that bag. I think it's now time to stop those comparisons and just enjoy his music just for what it is. So
Wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
And this, it's good music, like you said. So hopefully people accept it that way and don't really listen too much to the numbers.
Hey, with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. Kodak Black announces he has a new album coming on Halloween called Just Getting Started. Actually, that comes off the news and I guess release of the single he dropped with Chance the Rapper called Still Get Chanel, which I thought was a really, really dope record, man. I'm happy to hear Kodak, Lil Kodak, sounding like Kodak of old. Matter of fact, this song made me proud to be a Kodak fan. I was about to be like, dog, see, this is what Michael Beasley was talking about when he said, yo, man, hey, man, this guy's, he's like Kendrick. And everybody thought he was crazy, right? It's because of performances like this. Are you excited about new Kodak music or not?
Oh, I'm always excited about Lil Kodak. So, dog, there's a song on this album that I love. I'ma shoot. You know I'm about to shoot. I'm about to squeeze on something. It reminds me of the song that you think is a hit. The one where he said, I took the perk.
Oh, Super Gremlin.
I
Super
knew it was
Gremlin.
fake and I still ate it.
Super Gremlin.
So here's the thing about Kodak Black. Do you realize Kodak Black dropped a couple of albums? Like not just one, like a couple, maybe more than 3 albums in 2024.
Yeah.
Right? No, let me not say albums, projects. Right?
A couple of them, yeah.
I just feel like he's either not serious on the projects, he's on his experimental tip, and it's just not complete projects. This feels like a project he's taking seriously. Why am I saying that? Because of I'ma Shoot, and then I also think because of the song with Chance. That is taking a musical evolution. It's evolving your sound and your willingness to just step outside of your comfort zone. And I think when Kodak steps outside of his comfort zone, he's awesome. So, I'm very excited about this album. We'll see if he takes this serious. I believe it's about 18, 19 tracks, 20. Let's see if he'll take it serious, all 20.
Let me tell you something. I had the same critique on a video I did recently on NBA YoungBoy. I said, NBA YoungBoy doesn't take music seriously yet. And I was really talking about throughout an whole album. Of course, he got records here and there, but that's a real thing though. People don't say that enough. These artists who we believe in, they play around too much, man. Like where's the real stuff that will show the talent? You know what I mean?
Like people see him as a valuable guy.
Facts.
So, let's see if he can translate that to a solo studio album. All right. That being said, Nas and DJ Premier. You know Nas and DJ Premier, right? 2 of the greatest hip hop acts. They're in there. First ballot Hall of Famers when it comes to a hip hop artist and hip hop producer. It looks like they're going to be linking up for an album in December of this year. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I think it's a dope look for Nas. Dope look for Nas. This is Nas is on a roll, man. Yo, does Nas ever take L's? Like, bro, the man went against Jay-Z, not to rehash old news, but there's people who believe Jay-Z, there's people who think Jay-Z won that battle. And I'm here to tell you, no, Nas won that one too. Nas continues to take W's out the wazoo. As a matter of fact, the only time Nas ever took which would probably be a perceived L, was when people were saying his beats were bad. That's the only time people was ever down on Nas, dog.
He reused the Thieves theme beat.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, Nas was at his lowest when he reused the Thief Themes beat. He even said it to start the song. He said, yo, man, I like this beat so much, I had to use it again. I was like, what?
Fair enough. No, you're
Come
right.
on, bro.
That was a low. You're right. But no, I'm happy to see Nas still active, bro. He went on a crazy Hit Boy run with King's Disease. He worked, he did, and Magic, I should say. Let me not just talk about King's Disease, but he did the whole Magic trilogy, of course, he's in his business bag. He's opening casinos out in Queens and Astoria. Yo, anytime Nas, at this point, I trust Nas when he's like, bro, I want to put out a new project. I feel like he's going to put his best foot forward. And it further proves how, when you have something to say, I think the artistry in a true artist never goes away. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to hear an inspired Nas over some classic beats. And of course, I believe that's what we're going to hear. Like Hit Boy don't make pop
And
music.
anytime we can
Not
get-
Hit Boy, excuse me. DJ
anytime
Premier
we
don't
can
make pop
get-
music. Like we know what we getting. We know what we getting from a DJ Premier and Nas project, right?
Pop, yeah.
Come on now.
Hey, anytime, you know, Nas at this point links up with one producer, I get excited, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is all DJ Premier. And then, you know, you might have some great guest features. Everything Nas is doing is house money at this point. And so I'm extremely excited about this album.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, with that being said, let's move on to the last topic. Wale, DC's own, and the Commanders. I feel like I don't want to call him a mascot, but bro is like everywhere when it comes to Commanders.
Spokesperson.
There you go. Thank you. Wale, bro, he announced his new album, long-awaited album, I should say, called Everything Is a Lot, coming soon. I don't know if we have a date or nothing, but are you excited about new Wale's project or what?
You know me. I am one of Wale's biggest critics in the past. But these days, I'm so appreciative of Wale. Me and Young Thug are both appreciative of Wale. I am so excited about this album. One of the first singles that we heard from it was Blanco.
Blanco was hard.
Blanco
was just so tough, man.
It's just, we need, especially in these turbulent times that we're living in, with the radical right and the radical left.
Here we go.
We need
introspective
music. And Wale brings introspective music, heartfelt music, pure thoughts. I just am in the mood for that. I'm feeling that right now in my life. Maybe 2026 would be different. Maybe in 2026, things will calm down and I want rage music. But in this very moment, I am craving Wale's introspective music. Bring it.
Concur, agree, ditto.
Exactamundo.
There you go. Precisely. But I got a beef with you because it's people like you.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
It's
Here
people
we
like
go.
you that cause Wale to not feel appreciated from back then. His music has always been necessary. I got to correct you on that. It's not just in these times. It's every time. Wale's music has always been important for hip hop. Period.
There is a void in introspective, vulnerable hip hop music right now. Everybody's popping. Look, bro, I pressed play on Osama's Son the other day. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe he's an introspective rapper. You know, maybe he'll drop some bars I can relate to. And it was just like, I need introspective, vulnerable music. I said it 100 times already. And I'm looking forward to that with Wale. His new album, Everything Is a Lot. I know that's coming because Blanco was that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I like Wale.
Fair enough.
That's the last topic. We reached the end of the show. This is with that being said. Until next time, we're going to cover all the nice topics. Check out RGM. Check out ratingsgamemusic.com. For an extension of the show, we got song reviews, album reviews, you know, all the good stuff. And then check out Uche. Your socials. What's your socials again?
UCHAYVA. Check me out, guys. RGM. Also check out my channel. I talk about music. I rant a lot. You know, I get my Kevin Durant off. And I ain't talking about basketball because I retire. I'm talking about ranting about music, okay? Check me out over there. For shout.
Yes, sir. Until then, peace.